Hello EU4 players, my name is AlzaboHD, and in today's video, we are going to explore the strongest and most powerful starting rulers in EU4. Given that the skills of your monarch directly benefit the technological and ideological growth of your nation, these seriously skilled statesmen and stateswomen are an excellent choice to play if you're looking to maximize the potential of your next campaign. Starting off our list at number 10 is the sugar daddy of Burgundy and the lord of the lowlands, Duke Philippe de Bourgogne. Bourgogne. Putain, c'est dur à dire. Unusual for a singular ruler, Philippe rules over 4 different nations in the 1444 starting date, on account of his plentiful personal unions. Whether you're playing Big Red Burgundy or any of his Dutch subject states, you stand to benefit from a massive 15 monarch power per month on account of his 555 stat spread. What's more, Philippe the Good has the guaranteed calm, well-connected, and well-advised personality traits if you happen to own the Rights of Man DLC, granting players negative 10% stability cost, negative 20% advisor costs, and an additional advisor in each technological category. If you have many leather-bound books that smell of rich mahogany, I recommend checking out the most interesting new nations in the Emperor 1.30 update video, which features this nation on account of their very strong starting missions that culminate in the formation of the nation of Lotharingia. J. Balaki, and a warm welcome to Bahlul Lodi of Sirhind, the 9th strongest starting ruler in all of Europa Universalis. This 33-year-old Pashtun puts the delete in Delhi, and is able to absorb all of the latter state via event, just as he did in real-life history. Our boy Bahlul starts off in 1444 with a 456 stat spread, and possesses arguably the best personality traits in the entire game. These include the guaranteed strict trait, which grants your nation plus 5% army discipline, and the guaranteed conqueror trait, which greatly reduces the unrest you take when conquering enemy cores and territories. And speaking of conquering, Bahlul the Beast is a built-in 3-star general, whose impressive shock and fire pips will transform your tribal troops into Pashtun Space Marines. If you're playing in northern India or considering to form Punjab, Bahlul is the sickest choice for your next campaign. Blessing the pain down in Africa is Amina Zazzau of Zazzau, the most powerful Nigerian princess, and the 8th greatest ruler in EU4's 1444 starting date. In a similar vein to Chiefess Dilraba in CK3, Amina is a Hausa-cultured warrior queen, boasting a massive stat spread of 546 that will enable you to greatly expand her relatively small starting tribe. And speaking of states, hers is a fetishist tribal monarchy that starts the game without the feudalism institution. In practical terms, this makes a Zazzau campaign more challenging than any of the other leaders on this list, though her stats and impressive tracts of land will allow you to develop your provinces and lay a foundation for the emergence of institutions. Pan-fluting his way onto number 7 on our list is Hanan Pachacuti of Cusco, the future ruler and founder of the Incan Empire. If you're looking to praise the sun, this 24-year-old Imperial Incan Inti has you covered, and sports a substantial 546 stat spread to Peru your way around Machu Picchu and beyond. Pachacuti rules over Cusco, the preeminent Andean power, and is in an excellent position to expand, reform the Inti religion, and later proclaim the Incan Empire, a feat which he also accomplished in our own timeline. Cusco and the Inca are among my most favorite formidable nations to play in-game, and Pachacuti is by far the strongest start if you're looking to speedrun South America. Iron Man players can further benefit from the Sun God achievement if they're able to own all of the continent's non-colonial cores as the Incan Empire, though you should fully expect the Spanish Inquisition. Marhaba to Mehmed II, the reigning Ottoman emperor in 1444 and one of the strongest rulers in the entire game. In real life, Mehmed II put the Istanbul in Constantinople, but in-game he's a supercharged ruler that's somehow able to rule without regency at 12 years old. While most adolescents are interested in Fortnite and Roblox, Mehmed II is interested in Turkish nationalism, and starts the game with a skill spread of 646 and the Conqueror trait, which allows his Ottoman armies to paint the world in green with 5 less years of separatism. Mehmed's position is without equal, as he rules the strongest starting nation in EU4, and I strongly recommend playing him if you're looking to conquer the world. But if you're interested in playing Ottoman, I recommend checking out my top 10 strongest starting nations video, which is attached as a card at the top right of your screen. If you've made it this far, I'd like to personally thank you for supporting the algorithm and helping boost the visibility of this video on the YouTube platform. I'm not going to be obnoxious or demand an arbitrary amount of likes, but I would like you to consider subscribing to the channel if you like what you see and if you're looking for more weekly content. Only a quarter of everyone watching this video has joined the community, and we're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so I heartily recommend clicking the red button to support ya boy. With that out of the way, it's time to set our sights on Italia. Borrowing from the bank is Cosimo de' Medici, the 5th most powerful ruler in 1444 and the godfather of Florentine princes. Signore Cosimo is surprisingly efficient in administrative and economic affairs for an Italian, and boasts a gigantesco 16 monarch stat spread to jumpstart his nation's technology throughout the Renaissance period. Cosimo is first among equals in the Florentine oligarchy, and if you opt to play this ruler, you'll even be able to change your government form upon his death, a likely outcome given that he's 55 years old. This flexibility lends itself to a wide variety of playstyles, so if you're interested in playing tall, Florence and the formidable nation of Tuscany are fantastic choices, but if you're more aggressive, Cosimo is more than capable to form the foundations of the Roman Empire. What's more, Iron Man players can use Florence's start to obtain the Prince of Egypt and Carthago delenda est achievements. It's that time in the video to sound the Horn of Africa and announce Yakob Solomonid of Ethiopia, the 4th strongest starting ruler in EU4. Yakob is an absolute unit and comes pre-packaged with a legendary 655 stat spread, starts as the ruler of an empire tier nation, and is only 28 years old, allowing his reign to last most of your game. If you decide not to release Beta Israel and play as one of the most interesting releasable nations, Ethiopia is still a very solid state, and a contender for the strongest African empire south of Mamluk Egypt. If you believe in the rights of man and own the corresponding DLC, Yakob further benefits from the guaranteed zealot and righteous traits, which confer +1% missionary strength and a +1 yearly legitimacy modifier. As a Coptic Christian ruler, you'll also start off with one of the holy sites already unlocked, and, if you play in Iron Man mode, can further gain the Blessed Nation achievement by conquering the other 4 and the Prester John achievement by owning cores in Egypt, Syria, and Anatolia. Annyeonghaseyo and Shumbe! Welcome to the court of Sejong the Great, by far the strongest ruler in Asia and the 3rd overall best leader within the Universalis. This 48-year-old Korean Confucian king is at the helm of the Joseon dynasty, itself a tributary to Ming China, but don't let its subject state status fool you. With a total monarch potential of 16 mana every month, Sejong the Great is more than capable of developing all of Korea's provinces to sky-high potential, restoring the soul of this Choson nation. If you Kaesong avoid the various estate troubles and modifiers plaguing Korea in the 1444 starting date, you can use Sejong's tremendous powerful stats and Korea's unique mission tree to extol the virtues of kimchi and slay Asia under the Korean wave. Iron Man players can also obtain 3 separate achievements as Korea, making it an attractive destination for those interested in 100%ing the game, if that's even possible. Assassinating his way onto the list at number 2 is Mehmed Khalji of the Malwanese Sultanate. This 27-year-old potent prince possesses a 556 monarch stat spread in one of the busiest and most contested neighborhoods in-game. As the leader of Malwa, Mahmud is also overlord of the 3 vassal states of Garha, Bundelkhand, and Kalpi, all of which hate his guts and want to break free. If you're able to rattle these rabble-rousers, you'll still have to contend with the neighboring major powers of Mewar, Juanpur, and Bamanas, all of which are likely to hate and rival you and covet your lands. But Mahmud is unlikely to be cowed, and, if successful, is able to form both Delhi and Hindustan. Given his technological ability and relative youth, you can also use this Malwanese machine to forcibly spawn institutions in India via development, ushering in the Renaissance of Rajasthan. It is often said that Albania is known only for communism and concrete bunkers, but it's also known for Gregorz Skanderbeg, the bane of the Ottoman Empire and by far the strongest soldier and statesman in the 1444 starting date. It is an understatement to say that Skanderbeg is a god of war, and starts his campaign as the only ruler to have nearly a perfect monarch stat spread of 17, and almost perfect military stats as a 3-star general. But despite his awe-inspiring stats, Albania is a very hard nation to play, as the Ottomans and Venetians possess cores on your territory. And making things worse, the Turks are likely to invade a few days after you click the unpause button. You'll have to rely on your Venetian guarantee in this conflict, as most nations hate you and you're almost certain to be diplomatically isolated. If you are somehow able to succeed being outnumbered 40-1 before the Ottoman battle has begun, you can usher in an Albanian golden age by further obtaining the Albania or Iberia achievement, which tasks you to conquer the Caucasus and Iberian regions. If you're a masochist and plan on playing this powerful prince, you'll likely become quite familiar with the exit to menu feature of EU4, as you'll probably rage quit before you're able to kick the Turks out of Balkan Christendom. Before ending the video, there is something quite serious I would like to discuss. But first, I would like to give a shout out to the Social Streamers YouTube channel for giving me permission to upload a video similar to their already released top 5 starting rulers in EU4. I consider them a close friend of the channel, and I highly recommend checking out their content, which I will link in the description box below. If you are a fan of strategy gaming, guides, top 10s, and development and patch news within the strategy gaming community, I humbly ask you to consider subscribing to this channel and ringing the bell for future videos. I will conclude this video by giving a shout out to the channel members and patrons who make this channel and content possible. It's time now to roll the credits.